Dave could have saved a little bit of time simply by introducing me as a recovering trade journalist, which indeed I am, and proudly so. But I'm here tonight at the invitation of Mr. Fellows and his co-conspirator, Dr. Rusbeh Yassini, colloquially and lovingly known in these environs as the father of the cable modem. And it's my privilege to kind of preside over the inauguration of a new class of cable TV pioneers. These are DOCSIS pioneers. You're going to see their names begin to appear on the screens behind me. And as the name suggests, they're part of, they share a common heritage of having brought to the market a technology that has changed everybody's life. So Rusbeh has asked me to share a couple perspectives on DOCSIS and the work that has been done to bring it to bear. Doing so requires that I invite you to travel with me in the Wayback Machine just for a second. I'm going to take you back to 1981. It was my first job in and around the cable industry as a journalist, and I worked for a thing called multi-channel news, which was started by a force of nature called Paul Maxwell. And thank you, Paul, for the job and the career. And it was a glamour job called editorial assistant, and it entailed that every Friday when we got a new packet of publications from the printer, every Friday morning, my job was to take a pair of scissors and I would cut out articles. I would take some cellophane tape and I would tape the articles to a piece of typing paper, and I would file them in a sturdy bank of metal filing cabinets. And that, of course, was the start of the company Google. Actually, it wasn't the start. But it was our archive, and unbeknownst to me, what it did was introduce me to this vibrant, strange, iconoclastic, influential, and really interesting business that was called cable television, that you've all been a part of. And we reported on that business for many years. We reported about USA Network and Ted Turner and Satcom 1, and we thought we were writing about television all that time, until we weren't. And so if you had any journalistic antenna at all around the mid-1990s, you sort of sniffed out that something interesting and unusual was taking place. And a band of these idealists and dreamers and renegades and tinkerers and inventors were sort of coalescing. You see them, many of their names on the screen behind me, around what I think everybody thought was a pretty audacious idea. And the idea was to take these concepts of high-speed data delivery that heretofore were the province of the elites of corporate America and translate them to the common man and the common woman. And to do it over a platform that had been designed to send HBO and MTV and C-SPAN to users. So the idea, of course, was doomed from the start. There was no economic rationale for high-speed internet over cable. We didn't even know how we were going to charge for it. I looked up today that only 30% of American homes even had a PC. The technology was not at all baked. The internet already existed in the form of CompuServe and Prodigy and AOL, skimming along at a heady 2400 baud. And it was difficult to see a path, right, for this technology and this business idea. But these guys persisted. They were drawn by and I think motivated by a common faith that they might be on to something big here. Well, it turns out, if we fast forward, that they were indeed on to something big. As Dave had alluded, the valuations attributable to DOCSIS distribution today are in the trillions of dollars. The revenues since the inception are in the hundreds of billions of dollars, and we all know that there are more subscribers today domestically to broadband offerings from cable companies than there are from video. So it's an enormous, incredible economic achievement. But really, I think the reason we're celebrating this inaugural class of DOCSIS pioneers is that DOCSIS is more than an economic elixir for the cable industry. I like to think of myself as a card-carrying skeptic, but I do not say this lightly. I think that DOCSIS, I think the technology y'all invented, is the most consequential and empowering technology in my generation. And I think of your generation and maybe spanning several generations. DOCSIS is the foundation for how we work, how we play, how my little kid does her homework, how we communicate with family, how we engage as citizens of the world. And it's for that reason, I think, that we're here to celebrate the contributions of these individuals. So to do so, I have two tasks that I need to accomplish. One is to invite all of the DOCSIS pioneers to join on this stage after the entire Cable TV Pioneers presentation is concluded. So we can have the obligatory inaugural photograph. And the other thing I'd like to do, and I'm going to ask you guys to hold your applause for a second, is I would like to invite all the DOCSIS pioneers we are recognizing tonight to stand. Ideally to levitate if you can. And not to get weepy or teary-eyed, but you guys changed the world. There's no more, there's no narrative beyond that I can say. You changed my life, you changed my family's life, you changed the life of our communities, and you really changed things for the better for the entire flippin' planet. So for those of you who built DOCSIS, who persevered, and who made this happen against tremendous odds, our great thanks as citizens of the world. Have a great dinner. Thank you.